I'm Zach Pop from Up Your Fashion Game. In part 1 of Fit is Everything, I talked about how your shirt should fit. Now this week, I'm going to show you how to tailor shirts you already have to make them fit better. I've put together this video to accompany this week's blog post because it's a bit technical. Alright, let's get started. With this technique, you'll be able to sling your shirt through the torso and the arms. Step 1, get a shirt that's too big for you. Here I have my blue gingham shirt. It has too much room in the torso and in the arms, so that makes it a perfect candidate for this. Fold over the fabric of your shirt until you're happy with the fit. Then use your tape measure and see how much you folded over. I folded over 3 inches, so that means I want to take 6 inches out of the torso. Next, measure your bicep at its biggest point without flexing. Then add an inch. Mine's 12, so that brings it to 13. Now that we have those measurements, we need to turn those into numbers you can use to sew with. So taking your first number, mine was 6 inches, and divide that by 2, because we'll be taking fabric out of each side of the shirt. Now take that number and divide it by 2 again, because we'll be taking fabric out of each side of the seam. Now to get our bicep number. My bicep was 13 inches. So we need to take that number and divide it by 2 because we folded the shirt in half. Now we need to measure to see what the shirt is at the bicep. The shirt's 7.5 inches. So to get it to 6.5 inches, which is half of 13, we need to take an inch out of the shirt's bicep. Turn the shirt inside out. Now using our numbers of 1.5 inches in the torso and 1 inch in the bicep, use your tape measure and a pen to mark these. After marking the 1 inch mark at the bicep, I like to use about half of the difference between these two in the armpit. This will make a gradual curve. Okay, now connect all your dots. Using a straight edge, draw a line from the corner of the cuff to your bicep mark. Now that you have both lines drawn, we head over to our sewing machine. At this point, if you like to sew with pins, then go ahead and put those in. I like to skip this step. Alright, now get your fabric ready, right in your sewing machine, and we're going to sew a straight stitch down the lines that we just drew. Turn your shirt right side out. Make sure that it fits properly. If it doesn't, you're going to need to take a seam ripper and rip those stitches that you just made. If it's too big, you can make another seam that's closer to make it fit tighter. Now we can move on to the next step. Once you're sure that you're happy, get a pair of scissors and cut about 1/4 of an inch from your seam. This is the point of no return, so make sure you're happy. This last step is optional, but highly recommended. We're going to finish off the unfinished seam with an overcast stitch. This will prevent fraying. This is what your newly finished seam will look like. Now put on your newly tailored shirt and wear it proudly. Again, I'm Zach Powell from Up Your Fashion Game. If you enjoyed this, please check out my site at upyourfashiongame.wordpress.com and leave a comment. Thanks for watching.